Alright, welcome to NorthStar Angling. Just unloading my boat here after a pretty fun night chasing catfish on the river last night. Had the day to myself, unusually, on the water, and I thought I'd go check out some new area. And I always wanted to check out the Crow River, where it empties into the Mississippi up there. So I took the boat up, and I've always heard there was some good catting up there. And so we're just going to chase some catfish, talk about river catfishing, and exploring some water, and catching a few. It's a pretty fun night. Make sure to subscribe down below. NorthStar Angling, working the metro here. Cats, bass, walleyes, pike, all the fun stuff. Let's check it out. Man, what a strike. Man, it's been a long day of bouncing off the rocks, exploring. Here it comes. I suppose I should have gotten the net ready. I was out fishing the deep part of the hole, nothing going on, so I came up to this wood. It's a lot shallower water. I was out fishing in the 13 foot, the deepest part I could find. Of course, it's a nice There we go. Alright. Hello there. It's been a long day of exploring and stuff. Good to finally get a fish in the boat. Yeah, it'll be a nice, pretty fish. Let me get it unhooked here, 1 second. Little kitty cat. Hey, might not be such a bad evening after all. Alright, sweet. Oh, what a strike, man. I got the trolling motor back there and just smacked it up against the trolling motor handle. I almost couldn't pull the thing out of the rod holder. Alright, sweet. Just using the standard rig here, 2 slip sinker, 3 ounces. That's kind of my default river weight, I guess, 3 ounces. Circle hook, big chunk of sucker. Oh, as always, hook it right to that front corner so it'll just lay in the current and all those scales off the hook. And I'm just throwing it right over there. These logs aren't in but about 5-6 feet of water, but that's plenty. I'm even going to throw right up in the shallowest part here and spend a few more minutes in these blowdowns and see what happens. Alright, so what I've done here, I'm in a stretch of the river. I'm pretty much trapped in this hole. This is surrounded by 2 feet deep of rocks and rapids that are down that way. And same thing up there. I can't really get out of this hole without beating the crap out of the motor. Because trust me, I tried. So, I mean, I'm kind of stuck here. So what I've done is I've just come and I found the only wood associated. Oh, goodness. 1 second. Good gracious. As I was saying, this is the only wood associated with this hole. So I came and set up on the wood. And man, have I been glad I did. 2 fish right away. And I missed another one. Well, this is another not bad one. Not bad here. Oh yeah, it might be a fun evening after all. Thought today might be a bust because it's also shallow and I can't go anywhere. But I got this one hole. Come here. And that might be all we need for the night. Hey, that was awesome. Well, this is a nice fish too, man. This is a nice one. Let's see if we can get that boy out of here. Sweet. Got the pliers right here. 1 second. Textbook circle hook, right in the corner. We'll get him out here. 1 second. Sweet, that was awesome, eh? Get back at it. Oh, that's so cool. So in general, when I'm out here doing things like today, when I'm just exploring, looking for new river, it's really just a few key things I'm looking for. Certainly in a river like this, depth. Holes are just so key because so much of this is 2 feet of water. Not that they don't get up in there and feed, but you know, they're living in the holes and basing around there. So looking for some depth. In a lot of rivers, that means outside bend. In this case, not necessarily. I'm not in a bend. But looking for holes. Looking for wood is always a good thing. And kind of like here, if you can find wood and holes associated together, always key. Any sort of water coming in, a drain, a culvert, a creek mouth. In this case, I had a whole nother river right over there, the Crow River coming into the Mississippi here. So I've got a river coming in and a hole, and not just a hole. This is the biggest, deepest hole in this whole, I don't know, certainly a few mile stretch of river. I mean, so they got to be orientating around here. So I'm going to hang out here kind of for the night. But of course, also finishing my thought, any sort of dam obviously would be key. Anything that, even a low head dam, anything small even. Doesn't have to be a big, you know, lock and dam kind of thing, but anything that blocks the river eventually would be key. Wing dams, rock bars, are all good things to be checking out when you're out here just scouting out, kind of like I did today, out on a new body of water. And what I try to do is I put in and I spend the first hour or two running up and down and just looking and seeing. But today that wasn't overly possible since I'm stuck in this hole, but that kind of forces me to, you know, just kind of dissect the hole and know that there's going to be fish here. And I'm going to hang out, sun's getting low. I got a couple live suckers. I might even throw some on for flatties. See what happens here. If it'll go all the way, it certainly should. Yep. Oh yeah. I think I like this spot. I think I like this spot a lot. Boy, he's not as big, I don't think. Well, maybe. No, not as big, not as big. I think I can just hoink him in here. Yeah, we'll take that attitude though. Oh boy, if I was eating them. Whoops. Now here's the trick. People are always talking about catfish stinging you stuff. They can't sting you when their fins are pointy. So just in anything else that's pointy. But a good way to hold them is up under the, get them up under the stomach, fins between the fingers. And you got control of them. They're not gonna fin you. You can get them out and get them back on their way. Huh? Sweet, totally sweet. All right, so I've thrown right up there shallow. Here's the blowdowns I've been fishing. Actually, you know, there's a couple more behind here. It's all very shallow. It's all in about 3 to about 6 feet of water, which in a river like this, plenty, especially when there's 10, 13 feet right behind me. So it's associated with the deep water. Got the rod and the holder, which is such a key part of the equation, especially with those circle hooks. Got stuff jumping all over. I got holders, you know, all over the boat. You know, if you're into the catfishing thing, you're gonna have some rod holders. But I certainly recommend the Scotties, just rock solid. It was amazing in Wisconsin. We were drifting and got the thing snagged and actually, you know, watched it pull the bolts out of the boat before breaking the holder. I mean, these things are indestructible. So rods in the holder, baits in front of the wood. Give it 10, 15 more minutes here, and then we'll be pulling up, checking something else out. Alright, so we're out of the wood now. What I'm going to do is go up to the flat in front of the mouth where this river comes in. I'm not going to be in the deepest hole. I'm not going to be in the 2 feet rocks, although I am right now. I'm almost to the hole. So nerve-wracking when you're in the rocks. Out here it's going to drop a little bit now. Really shallow up here. I'll just warn you, if you're thinking of bringing your boat here to Dayton and going into the Crow River, low summertime conditions are probably not the time to do this. But if you got a boat, a kayak or a canoe or something, that's a sweet looking stretch of water that I wish I could get to it a little better. Absolutely one of my favorite aspects of catfishing is the simplicity. Like this is my whole catfish box right here. Like up in front of the boat I have boxes after boxes of crankbaits and jigs and spinner baits and, you know, musky baits, everything imaginable. But for cats, all I need is just an array of sinkers. I really like the flat ones. Like I say, my default weight is 3 ounces, and then if there's a little more current, I go a little higher. A little less current, I go a little lighter. I default to about 3. And an array of circle hooks and regular hooks, some beads. I've gotten into playing with these new whisker seeker little floats and rattles and stuff. I mean, a pack of these is $5. Just compared to normal fishing tackle, it's very inexpensive. And you know, same thing with the rod. Like this rod here, and everything I got, St. Croix, St. Croix Mojo Bass. Rod was $140. Reel was $100. But you know, catting in the standard, of course, is the Berkeley, the ugly stick, 8 foot, and just a beat up old Garcia that I've had on here forever. And this thing has caught just zillions of catfish, and this rod is $40. You know, cat rods are very inexpensive, and it's just not an expensive game to play as compared to the other stuff. It's absolutely, besides the fact that the fish are really big and fun to catch, my favorite aspects. And then on top of everything else, just getting to be out on the river, man, on nights like this. You know, South Minneapolis, all I hear is sirens. Sirens in the freeway. So it's great to come out and soak up a little of this, you know, when I can. Again, I'm, half an hour out of the 494 loop, and I'm away from everybody. This is great. Don't know if we'll catch any more fish, but it'd be great. But we're gonna give it here till dark and see what happens. Well, golly, I don't know how much you're gonna be able to see me here. Oh man, did this thing get... This is the biggest one today by far. Oh, and it just came off. Oh my God. I can't believe it. Broke me. Broke the line. That was a big fish. And I've got, I don't know, 30-pound, 50-pound braid. Golly. That was a monster. Oh, beside myself. So here's what I've done today, and you can see what I mean by I was trapped by shallow water. Everything red is 5 feet or less, and everything that's green is 5 to 10 feet. So I had this hole here, and even right there, it gets all the way down to 13 feet. That's the first place I tried today. But I was stuck within this hole at one point, and at one point I drifted too far down here into the rocks in the shallow, and it took about an hour to get myself back up into the safe fishing spot. So I was trapped in here all day, literally. I mean, not all day, I didn't get out here till 2 or 3, but the wood I caught those first fish on was right up in here, so not in the hole, but right by it, and the tips of the logs were, sticking out right at the edge of the hole. And then here's where I am now, where I just lost that big one. I might have zoomed in a little far there. Where's the river? Here's the river. here's me right here. Here's all the shallow 3 feet, and it just drops right here. I'm sitting at 7, 8 feet. Just where it drops in, not all the way down in the deep hole, but just kind of coming up here. The river, the little Crow River's right up here that I tried, but it's a boat death trap. Boat launch is right here, and I'm about to head there real soon. All right, well, going on 10 o'clock. I think I've eaten enough bugs for the day. I think I'm gonna pull on up and head on out of here. Turned out not to be the worst night. Every time you can come out and catch a few cats, it's not a bad day. Whew, it would have been a lot better day if I'd got that last one in. Lesson learned, huh? If you're fishing around the rocks and using the braids, you gotta tie more than I do. But hey, that's part of it. You catch some, you lose some. Next time I think I'm gonna go out next week. It should be really fun. I'm gonna go try some sturgeon fishing, I think, sturgeon fishing on the St. Croix, which was the plan today. Except Northside's, I don't know, his fish got sick or something. He's gonna have to explain this to me. But he couldn't make it, so it was fun to come out here, spend a little alone time on the river, get away from stuff. That's really the best part, isn't it? And hey, it's great stuff. Hey, thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe down below. NorthStar Angling, working the metro here, fending off bugs all over town. And we'll see you next time.